Welcome back to your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Yanks win 5-3 over the White Sox. They improved to 91 and 68. Unfortunately, the Blue Jays also won, so they are still tied for first in the AL East. 3 games to go. Last night's game, really solid game. I mean, it was not an easy game, and key plays had to be made in key situations. I know you're playing the White Sox, who are not good, but you needed to take care of business. You were in a very close pennant race with a very good team in the Blue Jays. It is a monumental advantage that you get first place in the AL East and you get a first-round bye, as opposed to having to play in the wild card series. So, great performance last night. We'll get into it right now. Rodon pitched well. I think let's just recap the game a little bit. So Rice gets an RBI ground out in the first, bases loaded, just getting a run in. Unfortunately, Stanton Ks. The game is tied at 1, top 2. Rodon, really good stuff tonight. Command wasn't as sharp, but the stuff was good. He recorded his 200th strikeout of the season. And he's only the 6th left-hander in Yankees history to log 200 strikeouts in a single season. He is throwing the ball well. The starting pitching for the Yankees is going to be a threat in October. They have another bases-loaded opportunity with Bellinger. He can't get it done in the second. It's still 1-1. And Rodon throws a fastball middle in to Michael A. Taylor. He hits it out for 2-run homer. I mean, it was just bad location. It was right over the middle, belt high. So, but then Stanton comes up with a bases-clearing double. You could say as possible error in the third baseman. Regardless, that brings home a couple. The game is now 4-3. And then Austin Wells gets an RBI double to put the Yanks up 5-3, bottom 7. He's been swinging the bat really well. Credit to Devin Williams, who comes in with the bases-loaded jam, a really nice catch in left field by Bellinger. And then, again, we've talked about this a million times, David Bednar gets the save. Fastball up in the zone, K's Will Robertson to get the save. David Bednar, I can't stress how important it is to have a closer who everyone knows is the closer and everyone is confident in. And I know Cashman made a bunch of different moves at the deadline with Rosario and McMahon, and I think that's definitely going to help. David Bednar might be the biggest, depending on how this plays out, when all this plays out at the end, the Yankees go far, he might be the biggest trade deadline acquisition or move of any team. He's 26 saves on the year, 1 inning pitched, a K, but he solidifies that the rest of the bullpen. He is the glue because everyone else knows their role. You can use Williams in high leverage situations without the pressure. Similar with Weaver, Hill, Cruz. You have a lot of guys that you can use. And they're comfortable, and they're getting more comfortable in their role because they know the 9th is solely taken care of by David Bednar. That is such a huge luxury to have. It's such a peace of mind for the bullpen, for the pitching coach, for the manager, and for the team. The team knows. Like, even the position player, if you're hitting, we get a lead late, and we get Bednar in there with a lead, this game's over. Like, that is such a calming, reassuring feeling that provides the team's stability and, more importantly, confidence. And baseball is such a weird mental sport, and you see players that can't hit worth a nickel, and then something flips and they're confident and they're hitting everything on the nose, barreling it up, and you're like, what changed? And they're like, well, I made a couple adjustments. A lot of times it's mental. A lot of times it's just they're out of their head, they're not thinking, and they just go up confident, knowing that, hey, I'm swinging the bat well, and if I see a pitch, I'm going to barrel it up. And that's sort of the confidence that you have in a closer. And that permeates throughout this whole team. I really can't stress that enough, that David Bednar is such a huge part of the Yankees' recent success and why they've been playing such good baseball in the last month or so. So I just wanted to just make sure that I make that very clear and how important he is to this team. Rodon battles to get his 18th win. So, I mean, Carlos Rodon has had an incredible year. I think he gets lost in the shuffle with the elite stuff of Schlittler, Fried's first half AL Cy Young campaign before he sort of, faltered a little bit in the second half, although he has looked good as of late. But Carlos Rodon is 18-9 with a 3.09 ERA. He's probably going to finish. I mean, he's probably not going to get another start because there's only 3 games left. But it's almost an ERA in the twos. He goes 6 innings last night, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. He has been fantastic for this team and durable. That changeup has just been such a weapon this year. He's been throwing it more. When you throw 97, 98, and you throw that changeup to righties, that's about 85. It is impossible to differentiate that. His slider was good. Using it to lefties away and then down and into righties, they absolutely had no chance. I would say the slider probably was his best pitch last night. I would say his changeup, I mean, obviously his great fastball, everything is based off of the fastball. His changeup is an elite pitch, but that slider was really, really working last night, particularly well for him. And, I think his command wasn't as sharp, but his stuff is so good that when he was able to locate even, decently, he's just got swing and miss stuff, and he got huge strikeouts in key situations. And here are the things that of why I've so optimistic with this team going into October. I think they're gonna win the AL East. I do. I think they are gonna take at least 2, if not all 3, from Baltimore. Baltimore's toast. They're just done. They've checked out. I don't even think they care about playing spoilers. I think they just want the season to be over. They fired their manager. It's just been such a tumultuous season for them. Versus the Rays. The Rays are going to play hard against the Blue Jays. And I think the Rays at least take one of those. So I do think they win the AL East. But what gives me confidence in this team is the starting pitching. It's not who you play, it's when you play them and how you're playing right now. Rodon is throwing the ball really well. Schlittler just had a great start. Fried just had a great start. Those are your Heel has been pitching better every start. You have 4 really good starters that you could use in a series. Or if you want to use 3 and use one of them in the bullpen and put Schlittler in there, he has swing and miss stuff. The guy throws 100 miles an hour with ungodly breaking stuff. His breaking ball is incredible. It is a 12-6 breaker at like 82 miles an hour that falls off the table. And when you throw 99 up in the zone and you have a breaking ball that starts at the same plane, it is impossible to decipher both. He's also got a ton of movement on his pitches. So the starting pitching, I think, might be the best in the playoffs. Then with the acquisition of Bednar, it solidifies that entire bullpen. Cruz has elite stuff with his forkball splitter. Tim Hill is great at getting lefties out. You have Yarborough. You have to evolve if you need him. Devin Williams, I still get a little worried with him. He's still got great stuff. But it's another option that you can use, and he doesn't have to have the pressure of pitching with a save situation. Weaver has been good last couple of times, but having Bednar at the end, and then the other thing too is the bats. Judge is swinging the bat well. Stanton swinging the bat well. Wells, Grisham, that lineup is so formidable. So many guys can hit home runs. It's not just last year Soto, Stanton, and Judge. Bellinger can hit home runs. Wells can hit home runs. Grisham can hit home runs. Chisholm can hit home runs. There's so many guys in this lineup that can slug. And that is so dangerous in October. And I do think because of the starting pitching, because of Bednar, because guys are swinging the bat well, the weaknesses of this team are defense. But that's why you get a Ryan McMahon at third base. And it really just comes down to can these guys perform in the playoffs? Volpe has to be solid defensively. I honestly couldn't care less what he does at the plate. Anything he does at the plate is a bonus. If he's starting shortstop for this team in October, he has to be solid defensively. He cannot have bad throws that are low. He can't have miscues. I'm very weary of having anyone but Paul Goldschmidt play first if he's at shortstop, because Goldschmidt is by far the best defending first baseman. I mean, Bellinger is also really good, but I think he's more valuable in the outfield since you have Goldschmidt at first that you can use. Ben Rice is at first and Volpe's at shortstop. I'm concerned. So I think you have other options defensively where if you are playing Volpe, there are other options at first base that you can mitigate some low throws or some possible errors that you can rectify. The base running, but if this team is hitting, the starting pitching is good and the bullpen is good, they can make a deep October run. They can definitely make it back to the World Series, and they're all playing well now. I know these teams aren't very good. I get it. I understand. But as of late, they've been playing cleaner baseball. Just look at it. It's so I've never looked at the 3 box score, like runs, hits, and errors. The first thing I look for now in a Yankees box score is the error column. I never do that because I know they're going to score runs most likely, and I know they're going to hit. I'm not confident they're not going to make errors. No errors last night against the White Sox. That is such a key thing. So 3-game set coming up for Baltimore. They should take care of business. Night game tonight on Friday. Day game Saturday, and then the season on Sunday at a 3:05 Eastern start. So the next time I talk to you, we will definitely know who has won the AL East and what the playoff matchup is like, and whether they're going to be in a wild card series on like Tuesday or early in the week, or they get a series off and they take the East. It will be exciting. I can't wait. Playoff baseball is the best. October is the best month, in my opinion. And it's just going to be fun to watch. I cannot wait, and I am so encouraged with how this team is performing at this particular time. You want to peak right now, and they're peaking in all the right places. Judge, we know, is amazing. He set the AL record for walks, his 35th intentional walk last night, which is pretty incredible. He eclipsed Ted Williams, who was intentionally walked 34 times in 1957, and that was tracked starting in 1955, according to stats. But Judge added another later in the game for good measure. His in the 6th when Tyler Gilbert gave him his 36th intentional free pass of the season. So just for reference, in 2004, Bonds shattered this previous record. He was intentionally walked 68 times in 2002, drawing 120 intentional free bases from an MLB mark that still stands and probably will always stand because 2004 Barry Bonds, I don't know if you know your baseball history, that dude was taking steroids, and that's been proven. Pretty irrefutable evidence. Balco, he definitely took steroids. That's why he's not in the Hall of Fame, even though some people think he's the greatest hitter of all time. But that no one will ever, I think, surpass the 68 intentional walks in 2002. I mean, that's crazy. And that's what Judge is doing is so incredible. And if you talk about the AL MVP race with him and Cal Raleigh, like his WRC plus is almost 100 points higher than Raleigh's. I know Raleigh's a catcher, 60 home runs. That last one he hit, it was like in the third deck of T-Mobile Park. It was just absolutely crushed. And I know Raleigh's a catcher, and I know he's a switch hitter, and I think it's incredible. I still give it to Judge. I'm not just saying that because I do this Yankees show. His on-base percentage, his batting average, it's so. I think it's much more valuable than what Raleigh brings. I know Raleigh's pretty good defensively and a switch hitter. I get it. And I think it's the Aaron Judge fatigue. And I could see him missing out on the AL MVP, but if I had to vote, I would vote for him just because his numbers are better. And so what if Cal Raleigh has 7 or 8 more home runs? Judge has been doing this forever. This is an outlier year for Raleigh, and I definitely think he should be in the consideration. But because of the average and the on base percentage and the OPS and the WRC plus, I think it's got to go to Judge. And the walks obviously are a huge part of it. So, like I said, Blue Jays and Yanks both win last night. Blue Jays are definitely feeling the pressure. You can tell. 3 games left. Jays 3 games with the Rays. Yankees 3 games with Baltimore. It's going to play out this weekend. So when we talk on Monday, we'll know and we'll be able to present that to you. I think the Yankees take the AL East. I really do. I just think it's easier. They just have a better matchup. I just think it's just an easier path for them. And again, if they win, they wait a week, and then they play the winner of Boston or Toronto. If they don't win, and Toronto gets the 1 seed, they are the 4 seed, they will play Boston at home hosting the first round of the playoffs. So Boston will get the 5 seed, Yankees will get the 4 seed. The winner of that will play Toronto. But I think that's going to be flipped. I think the Yankees will take the AL East. Unfortunately, Toronto does have the tiebreaker, which is a problem. But I just think the Yankees are going to get them by 1 game. I just do. Because the Yankees are playing with a lot of confidence right now. And if you watch Toronto, they're feeling the pressure. They're stressed. Just the other day, I don't know if you saw it, but George Springer was like, it wasn't a John Boy thing, but you could see it. He goes, "Oh, do you want the Yankees to win?" He said that to the umpire. So they're definitely feeling it. They're very aware of the Yankees. They know how big getting the AL East division title is. And I think the Yankees are just playing with such confidence right now. I think they get them by 1 game. I really do. I could see the Yankees sweeping Baltimore, and I could see Toronto winning 2 out of 3. That's my prediction. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before. I'm sure I'll be wrong again, but that's what I think. Have a great weekend. I will be back on Monday to start the playoffs. The Yankees are in. Are they in the wild card game? Or will they get a first-round bye and get the 1 seed in the AL? Should be exciting. And watch football. Watch some playoff base or potential. It will feel like potential playoff baseball. This 3-game set with both of these teams, and I'll be back on Monday to recap it for you. This has been your Yankees Latest. I'm your host, John Laloggia. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate all the outreach and support, and I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.